Rigathi Gachagua's impeachment case on Thursday has put the High Court on the spot as the three-judge bench sets out to determine contentious issues raised by lawyers in the case, with huge ramifications not just for Gachagua, but also on whether Kenya's supreme law, the Constitution, was violated during the impeachment process and what this means for future impeachments in the country. Apollo Kamau reports.
Of the petitioner's submissions.
Ahead of a crucial Wednesday next week, when the impeachment hearing of former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua is expected to conclude, attention now shifts to the three-judge bench, Justices Eric Ogolla, Freda Mugambi, and Anthony Murima, in determining the high-profile case. Petitioners in the case argue that the ruling will not only determine Gachagua's political fate, but also test the sanctity of the country's supreme law, the Constitution, while subjecting the High Court to intense public scrutiny following the verdict.
The petitioners I represent would be very careful about the prospect of the leader of that constituency being barred from contestations of the political office on account of an extremely tragic and defective impeachment.
What your petitioners are asking you to do is to recognize a judicial veto to impeachment. A judicial veto to impeachment. I think that that would be a massive judicial overreach that would destabilize the separation of powers in our own republic.
The two houses of parliament, which are effectively on trial before the court after being accused of carrying out a parliamentary coup and abusing their numerical strength under alleged state capture, will either be vindicated or condemned, depending on the court's determination of the impeachment process. The case also stems from public participation concerns and allegations of failure to accord Gachagua a fair hearing.
Before you say a good impeachment was passed, one must take a verdict of some kind and say, what kind of parliament is this? If a parliament looks like the 6th parliament, and we know all that used to happen during its time, then that cannot be a good parliament that will decide matters of life and death.
President William Ruto, who is represented in the proceedings, alongside his deputy Kithure Kindiki, is accused by Gachagua and 41 other petitioners of plotting his ouster following his fallout with his former deputy and the manner in which Kindiki was appointed to office.
They were merely saying we have the numbers. There was no attempt to address serious violations.
Whatever outcome emerges from the court's verdict will be crucial, as it is expected to set a benchmark and a legal precedent for future impeachment cases involving the deputy president. It will also clarify whether the country's constitution was undermined or remains supreme, depending on the court's interpretation. Apollo Kamau, TV 47.